Nowhere else in this country, from sea to sea, does nature comfort us with such assurance of plenty, such rich and tranquil beauty, as in those unsung, unpainted hills of Pennsylvania. Rebecca Harding Davis.
Good morning. Welcome to Ole Bull State Park. We're just a few miles north of Cross Fork at this little state park, 132 acres, but I passed by it yesterday. I wanted to come in and check it out. There's a small little nature trail and I think like a little mini vista. So we'll do this hike. It's about 7:45. It's there's fog low, but the sky is also clearing up, so it's going to be a bright, sunny, warm day. A little bit of fog in the morning, but let's check it out and see what we see here at Ole Bull. Day 2 begins. We're going to be doing this little nature trail. It starts at the back of the campground here. So I'm not going to be talking while I walk through the campground. Most people are still sleeping. But there's some people stirring about here on this Monday morning. So we are on the Beaver Haven Trail, and it's a nature trail. So it's a short trail leading from the back of the campground. And looks like there's going to be some wetlands, and I think it runs along Kettle Creek. So yeah, let's check it out. Should be a pretty easy trail. And then there's also like a vista that's supposedly pretty easy to get to in the park. So we may check that out as well before we head off to our next destination. Oh wow, look at this wetland area. Wow. Looks like we got some kind of old maintenance building here. You can see some of the campsite markers, signs, some equipment. Wow. And we are right next to Route 144. That's right there. You see this truck coming by. Just an absolutely beautiful wetland area behind me, and the fog covering the hilltops. So let me give you a quick little background on Ole Bull State Park. Ole Bull State Park is named for Ole Bornemann Bull, the famous Norwegian violinist who toured the United States in the 1850s. In 1852, Ole Bull purchased a large tract of land in Potter County and attempted to develop a series of Norwegian settlements. He began construction of a home at what now is called Ole Bull Vista, which we hope to visit. He never finished this large wooden cabin. After a year of severe hardships, the majority of the colony disbanded and moved west into Michigan and Wisconsin. The lumbering industry followed Ole Bull into the area. By the turn of the 20th century, 2 railroads, one on each side of Kettle Creek, were hauling logs to sawmills in the Cross Fork area. And that's a nice little home right across from the park. Very typical of the style of traditional houses you see out here. Beautiful mountain in the background. Beautiful country living there. Very nice. Right across from the park. It's absolutely gorgeous out here this morning. What a perfect morning. Spring wildflowers and all these pines, and looks like, now this area was once called the Black Forest of Pennsylvania because the canopy of trees was so thick and so deep and so dark that sunlight would rarely even hit the ground even in midday. So the entire region was lumbered, but this was really the heart of Pennsylvania's most wild forest. And it looks like they have planted some pines here. This is a perfect little nature trail. Very flat, very relaxing. Some interesting things to see here. This beautiful pine plantation. Very cool. And just the birds chirping and just the occasional truck or car going by. Up around here, usually a truck. I've seen more people fishing in the area than doing anything else. So fishing, hunting, a long storied tradition of those pastimes here in this part of the state. It's really part of the culture of the people who live here. So different than where I come from. Lots to see on this short little nature trail, and you can even see they've made improvements. They have these logs placed along the banks that create a current, so this is definitely designed for trout fishing, but complete opposite of yesterday's opening hike. A lot of bang for your buck here. So if you stop at Ole Bull, definitely you want to check out this Beaver Haven nature trail that leads from the lower campground area. It's worth it. Nice relaxing walk along the stream. I can smell some campfire smoke from the campground over there. And we are coming up to the main day use area now. So we're gonna be looking for this next little trail. I think it's called Castle Vista Trail. It should take us on a little climb up to an overlook, hopefully. So, see if we can find it. A lot of the structures here at Ole Bull had this beautiful pavilion. Were built in the 1930s by the CCC, I believe. They really got that historic old look. A nice, beautiful building. We're heading up a steep grade now into the forest. Did see a sign that said Castle Vista is up this way. I hope it's not too far, but got a little climbing to do now. Time to sweat. So we've reached Castle Vista, and right behind the vista is the foundation of a building here. I'll read the sign real quickly. It says, the famous Norwegian violinist located a colony of fellow Norwegians near this site in September of 1852. From this vantage point, Ole Bull started to build his castle. The large wooden cabin was never completed. All that remains is the foundation and stone retaining wall along the mountainside. The colony disbanded and moved west after a year of severe hardships. All right, so it's a nice little vista. It's a bit overgrown, easy to get to. It's worth checking out for the historical fact and for the view. A couple benches here. I'm going to sit here for a couple minutes, and then we'll make our way back down to the main day use area where I parked, look around a little more maybe, and then we'll head on to our next destination.
After leaving Ole Bull State Park, I stopped at several roadside vistas along Route 144.
We're here at a place I've been wanting to check out for a long time. It's been on my radar. I'm glad I finally got a chance to get here. We are at the Austin Dam Memorial Park, and this is actually the site of a great tragedy. So over behind me is a large concrete dam that failed, causing a flood that killed many people. And there's some signage that I'll give you more specifics about it when I look and read the sign, because I want to make sure I'm right. But it's a really neat looking structure, and let's go check it out. Oh, the Austin flood disaster on September 30th, 1911, the Bayless Pulp and Paper Company dam broke here. This concrete dam, built in 1909, was nearly 50 feet high and 534 feet long. Its failure sent torrents of water and debris down Freeman Run into Austin and Costello, causing great destruction and killing at least 78 people. This was the second worst single dam disaster in Pennsylvania, which inspired legislation in 1913 to regulate the construction of dams in the state. So I'm assuming the only dam disaster worse than this was the Great Johnstown Flood, which is, of course, you know, famously known. But and we can see here memorial stone to the victims of the flood with the dam behind it. Okay, now looking up on the road there is Route 872. It's the major road through this area, and then looking behind us here, so everything going downstream going this way would have been completely wiped out. So looking right here now, this is where the dam actually blew out. I mean, imagine the power of water to move the dam. You can see where it was lined up, and then this piece on a more than 45 degree angle just blew right through here. And look at the structural rebar still existing. Now, I do a lot of work in my day work with concrete. It's one of my main functions of my occupation. So, especially for that reason, this really like fascinates me. And you can see it's gradually crumbling over time. They don't want you to go anywhere near, don't go on the structure. But man, it's just crazy. So we're now on the upstream side. So this would have been a large pond or lake area. And you can see the dam behind me. Such a peaceful place now. Such a nice, beautiful park here. And it just really doesn't give a sense of the tremendous tragedy that took place here over 100 years ago. All right, so it's a nice little trail system. It's been mowed. It follows along the stream here, but I really came to see the dam, so I'm not going to go back too much further. I'm sure there are things to see back there, but I just don't have time right now. The Austin Dam was built in 1909 to harness water from Freeman Run to power the Bayless paper mill, the town's largest industry. While the many citizens of Austin who worked at the mill were grateful for their jobs, others questioned the stability of the dam and worried what would happen if it ever broke. On September 30th, 1911, Austin found out. Poor construction coupled with torrential rain resulted in the dam's collapse. Over 400 million gallons of water were released, destroying everything in its path for 8 miles. At least 78 people perished in the tragedy. It was the second worst flood disaster in Pennsylvania's history and sixth worst dam failure in U.S. history. The fact that the remains of the dam still stand a century later is truly remarkable. The Austin Dam was placed on the U.S. National Register of Historic Places in 1987. The lessons of the delicate balance between mankind and nature, as well as corporate responsibility, are as relevant today as they were 100 years ago.